and Ashman House Real Estate. The three-time national champion Peninsula Oilers game broadcasts on ESPN. Also brought to you by Steam on Wheels, Dan's Automotive, Kenai Peninsula College, White Spruce Trailer Sales, Dam Construction and Roofing, and Ridgeway Dentistry. The 2026 Oilers baseball season on ESPN 1140 AM and 96.9 FM. Also sponsored by Peninsula Surgery and Aesthetics, Earhart, Elsner and Cooley Attorneys at Law, Eyewear Express, Jumpin' Junction, and Soldotna Professional Pharmacy. Oilers baseball is also brought to you on ESPN by AK Express, Martha's Cocina, Odyssey Family Practice, AK Tree Solutions, and Playa Azul. The Peninsula Oilers postgame show is sponsored by Peninsula Community Health Services with game recaps and on-field interviews. Now let's go live to today's Oilers game with the ESPN broadcast team.
And welcome to the Mat-Su Valley, where we are set for our second doubleheader for Peninsula Oilers baseball this season as they take on a familiar foe. It's the Mat-Su Miners here at Herman Brothers Field. Dylan Simmons alongside Tucker Blau, and thank you so much for tuning in here on ESPN and on YouTube. Expecting a fantastic afternoon of baseball, and the Oilers trying to get back on track after their 5-inning loss to the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks last night under very odd circumstances. Tucker, we're ready for some baseball today, and the Oilers looking to get a big couple victories against Mat-Su here.
Yeah, definitely a quirky game yesterday against the Chinooks, and the Oilers looking to bounce back from that today. That actually put the Oilers behind the Chinooks in the standings. They're now down by half a game after that loss yesterday. But like we said, just a quirky game. You can't really put that at top. And the Oilers have played more games by a large amount than any other team in the league. So they've got a lot more experience, and unfortunately they have 15 wins, which is tied for the most. But their 12 losses is obviously not more than the Pilots. But anyway, looking for a bounce-back game against the top team in the league tonight.
They certainly are, and like you said, they've played a tremendous volume of games so far. We'll see how that plays out as we get down towards the end of the regular season. We're going to take another quick timeout. When we come back, we will have We're going to take another quick timeout. When we come back, we will have Alaska Baseball League action between your Oilers and the Mat-Su Miners, as well as your Genoir Tow action between your Oilers and the Mat-Su Miners, as well as your Genoir Towing and Recovery starting lineups. All that and more coming up after the break. Don't go anywhere, folks.
Upstairs at Beeman's, talking with Steve. If you're looking for those flies, Beeman's is your first stop.
Matt, we work with Connections and Idea and Raven homeschool programs. We have your basic homeschool supplies, educational aids, and games. We have workbooks and science kits, reading books. Check with your school to see when the allotments are going to be available.
You'll find all that located here at Beeman's on the Kenai Spur Highway in Soldotna.
Gentle Dental in Soldotna provides modern dental care in a welcoming, comfortable environment where patients feel right at home. They're also preparing to offer dental implants in the coming months. Patients with missing teeth, failing teeth, or ill-fitting dentures who are non-smokers are encouraged to schedule an evaluation. Combined with an advanced new 3D imaging technology, Gentle Dental continues to deliver precise, predictable care. Call Gentle Dental in Soldotna today at 907-262-8834 to schedule an appointment.
Great news, Kenai. The Central Peninsula Kenai Health Center is expanding to better serve our community. We're proud to once again offer lab services, screening mammography, and bone density screenings all in one convenient location right here in Kenai. We're proud to bring these important services back to the Kenai community because everyone deserves access to quality health care close to home. Learn more at cpgh.org or call 907-714-4495. Central Peninsula Kenai Health Center, compassionate, personalized health care close to home.
The Sweeney's Clothing pregame show continues as we go around the horn with today's starting lineups. Brought to you by Genoir Towing and Recovery on ESPN.
And welcome back here on ESPN. This is the Sweeney's Clothing pregame show. Dylan Simmons and Tucker Blau joining you. And it's now time for your Genoir Towing and Recovery starting lineups. If you need a tow or help recovering a vehicle or heavy equipment, call Genoir Towing and Recovery at 907-394-6068. We will start with the Mat-Su Miners, who are the designated visitors for this team, even though it's being played at Herman Brothers Field. That is due to the fact that the last game of the home series for the Oilers against Mat-Su was rained out. This is the makeup game. Will Godfrey leads off at third base for Mat-Su here this afternoon. Austin Park, one of the top batters in the Alaska Baseball League, is the shortstop in the two-hole. Luke Hughes hit a home run against the Oilers in the last series. He's at left field, number 46. Declan Spooner in the cleanup spot at DH. Jackson Babcock is the right fielder. Will Millard is back at catcher for Mat-Su in this one. Canyon Millard is at first base. Both Millard brothers in the lineup. Diesel Toth at second base. And the other Millard brother, Cash, is the center fielder for Mat-Su. And starting on the mound for Mat-Su tonight is Jackson Baker in his final start of the season for the Miners. Tucker, what does the Oilers lineup look like for this one?
Absolutely. Thank you, Dylan. The leadoff hitter for the Oilers tonight, Mark Nell, is playing center field, and he's a great spot in the leadoff, in my opinion. He's very good at getting on base. We saw him get a hit. Nice line drive up the middle yesterday. Batting second, Shane Cannon playing second base, wearing jersey number 5. Batting third, Nolan Graw. He's a shortstop tonight, wearing jersey 13. Luke Lusky DHing in the cleanup spot, wearing jersey number 19. Owen Musel, jersey number 29, playing left field tonight. And Brooks Hossenkleber shifts down in the lineup a little bit to number 6. He's playing first base, wearing jersey number 28. And then the bottom third of the lineup, Isaac Fernandez catching, Jack Holubowski, third base, and Brady Brown in right field. On the mound for your Peninsula Oilers, Cody Smathers, wearing jersey number 27.
Yeah, Cody Smathers making another start this season for Mat-Su. 17 2/3 innings pitched with 26 strikeouts, the most strikeouts of any Oilers strikeout leader in the Alaska Baseball League. Recently committed to Oregon State. He played for Long Beach State this past season, and he'll present a definite challenge for the Oilers in this one. And again, it's odd, Tucker, for today's first game of the doubleheader, because the Oilers, despite being the road team, are technically the home team for this game. So they're going to be the ones batting in the bottom half of the order, and Mat-Su leads off here in the top of the first.
Absolutely, and it is somewhat unfortunate for the Oilers that they couldn't play this game actually at home, because as much as it will go in as a home game in the books, and they are the home.
Delivers this one high and outside again, ball 4. Wow, a 4-pitch walk that will immediately put Godfrey over at first, and just like that, Mat-Su has a runner aboard.
Yeah, let's just say that's certainly not what the Oilers wanted to start off this game. You got a leadoff runner for free issued to the Miners, and you just hope for a ground ball double play. Hopefully your defense can pick you up here and they can work around that leadoff walk.
Well, Cody Smathers in his last outing against Chugiak struggled with issuing walks. He gave up 4 earned runs to Mat-Su in that contest in an inning and a third of work. And he's going to deliver his 5th straight ball on Austin Park here as it's high and inside for ball 1.
Yeah, Smathers yet to find the strike zone today. Hopefully he can lock in here and start pounding the zone.
1-0 pitch coming up. Smathers takes his time, deals a fastball. This time he's finally able to get that one in the zone, and the count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike. And that's the location of the fastball that the Oilers want to see.
Absolutely, and it's good to see him get back in the zone. Hopefully that sparks a turnaround of what has been a rough day for him so far, even only 5 pitches in.
1-1 pitch, and that's going to help as well. Swing and a miss for Park. Count goes to 1-2. And Austin Park, 4th or 5th, I should say, in the Alaska Baseball League right now. Top 5 batting average, 1-2 from Smathers. Here's a drive that's going to get down into the right field corner for a base hit off the end of the bat of Park. Racing all the way around third is Godfrey. He is coming home. The relay from right field will not be in time. And Mat-Su takes a 1-0 lead on an Austin Park RBI double, picking up where he left off against the Oilers.
Yeah, that was just trouble off the bat. That wasn't a terrible pitch from Cody Smathers. He actually located it very well on that low outside corner. Park somehow able to get the bat all the way down there and just kind of poked it right side, landed it fair, and because of the nature of the ball twisting that way, it twists towards the bullpen area, and with all that foul ground, it took the right fielder Brown forever to get to the ball, and there was just no chance to make a play at the plate.
It was certainly a tough play for Brady Brown to try and make, and unfortunately just didn't have enough time to be able to get an out on either Park or Godfrey. Luke Hughes now comes to the plate with the speedy Austin Park over at the plate after the RBI double. So already the Oilers in a hole. Smathers deals this one to the outside for ball number 1. And this has been a bit of a problem spot for the Oilers in some of these road games this year, is falling behind early and having to work their way out of a hole.
Yeah, as you said before the game, the top of the lineup is brutal, so it's definitely difficult to get through it without some trouble, and hopefully he can find a way to work around them as the game progresses.
1-0 count here. Smathers tries a fastball. It's popped up and fouled toward the right side of the park by Luke Hughes. Count goes to 1-1. Hughes, the only player on this Mat-Su roster with multiple home runs. He's got 2 of them this season. The others are possessed by Will Godfrey, Will Millard, and Alex Pearson.
One of those home runs off the bat of Hughes came against the Oilers, I believe.
It did, and that happened late in the series against the Oilers earlier this week. Smathers, fastball, and that is a swing and a miss, and that brings the count to 1-2. Nice pitch from Cody Smathers, trying to adjust ever so slightly on these fastball and breaking ball combinations.
Yeah, good bounce back from that 4-pitch walk. Gets ahead of the hitter twice in a row. Obviously didn't quite work out against Park, but hopefully he can really go after Hughes here.
1-2 coming up from Cody Smathers. Takes a look back to second and deals. Here's one hit toward the right side again off the end of the bat of Hughes. The drive is fouled, and the count will stay at 1-2 strikes.
Yeah, again, Minor able to get to that outside pitch. Not bad location from Smathers, but the Minor's just able.
Kind of overran it, had to come back to it and extended out that glove hand to make the catch. That was very impressive. So 2 quickly out for the Oilers here. Nolan Graw comes to the plate. The short
need close to home. And big news, our residence hall is now open. You can once again experience full campus life, build lifelong friendships, and live where you learn while taking classes at KPC or any UA campus. Don't wait. Secure your classes in your room today at kpc.alaska.edu. Find your place at KPC.
Welcome back here on ESPN. Dylan Simmons and Tucker Blau joining you from Herman Brothers Field in Palmer, Alaska. And after 1 inning of action, it is Mat-Su 1, Oilers nothing. Mat-Su able to put an RBI double on the board thanks to Austin Park in the first frame of the game. The Oilers just couldn't find any sort of daylight against Jackson Baker in that bottom half of the first. And just like that, we're an inning into this one, Tucker.
Yeah, and like you said, Smathers able to bounce back from that double with 3 consecutive outs. Hopefully he can continue that momentum here with the bottom of this Mat-Su lineup.
Did get a strikeout on Luke Hughes in that top of the first. He'll face off with Will Millard, Canyon Millar, and Diesel Toth, 6, 7, and 8, due up in the order for Mat-Su here. Miners again in their camo shirts today with white pants. Oilers with the black shirts and red sleeves. Smathers deals a breaking ball low for ball number 1, trying to catch that outside corner of the plate. Isaac Fernandez is the catcher today for the Oilers. Your outfield is Owen Musil, Mark Nellis, and Brady Brown from left to right field. 1-0, and this time Smathers able to deliver a sinker to make the count even at 1-1 strike.
Yeah, able to get right back in the zone after that first pitch ball. Hopefully he can continue that trend as the inning progresses.
1-1 coming up. Smathers deals an off-speed pitch over too short. Raw can't handle the baseball, and Will Millard is going to make it over to first on what I imagine will be ruled an E6, but we'll check for clarification.
Yeah, it was going to be a tough play. It was almost he almost was able to thread the needle with that ground ball, but it was hit just slow enough for Graw to get there. But I think the fact that he got there and got so much glove on it, I think you're right, they'll probably rule it an error.
Right now, the scoreboard is ruling it as a hit, so we'll double-check that as time goes on. For now, we will call it a single, and Will Millard able to get on base with an infield single. Canyon Millar now to the plate, and we'll see if Mat-Su can capitalize on this early momentum in the top of the second as Smathers deals this one to the outside. Miners with a surplus of lefty batters in the lineup today. This is yet another one in Canyon Millar, and again, we've seen how those lefty batters have somewhat challenged Smathers so far. 1-0 coming up with a runner at first. Here's a ball chopped foul towards the Miners dugout. Count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike.
Sure enough, the official scoreboard, which you can find at alaskabaseballleague.org, by the way, ruled that as a single, so Will Millard will get credit for the hit.
So that's the second hit of the day for Matsu, and Millard able to add another to his collection on the season, of which there is an ever-expanding catalog. Smathers with a 1-1 coming up. Bunt being shown. Pitch went wide of that, and it's ball number 2. That was Will Millard's 13th hit of the season, by the way, for the Miners just then. And Canyon Millard at the plate, one of the 2 Millard brothers in the lineup today, has a .224 average on the season with 11 total hits for Matsu. And will he try the bunt right here? We're going to find out. 2-1, no bunt this time, and Smathers gets strike 2 on a fastball to the outside corner.
Smathers able to get the call on that high outside edge, and I think that was just great location. Not really much that Millard could do with that, and able to steal a strike.
2 balls and 2 strikes coming up here from Smathers. Sun peeking out once again over Herman Brothers Field. Smathers deals, swing and a miss, and that will get 1 out here in the top half of the second inning. Nice fastball from Smathers.
Absolutely, absolutely filthy. Millard not able to get his bat on it. It was low, and you could just see his frustration as he came out of the box. That was just absolute nasty pitch from Smathers.
It certainly was, and that is again needed for the Oilers here to try to break up the potential to advance Will Millard over to second base. Diesel Toth, one of the best names in the Alaska Baseball League, comes to the plate. .214 average on the season with 15 hits and 10 runs batted in. Smathers deals this one low for ball 1.
With a name like Diesel, you got to wonder if he has a brother named Gasoline or something.
That would be fitting, or maybe a nickname of Fuel or something like that. But Diesel is just, that's a fitting name. I think it works for either a football or baseball player. I think you're just destined to be one of those when you got a name like Diesel. 1-0, runner takes off, swing and a miss, throw to second is not in time. Just able to steal second base as Will Millard, although it was very, very close. Shane Cannon almost able to apply the tag, but the throw from Fernandez was just a bit high.
Yeah, a great steal, although in his sliding mitt. Yeah, so, they're sending it back to first base.
Home plate umpires talking to the batter Diesel Toth there, and I think was there batter's interference in that situation. We saw this last night in the Chugiak game, and it very well could have been a situation where it affected the velocity or direction of Fernandez's throw, and if that's the case, that completely changes things all of a sudden in this top of the second.
Yeah, and if the batter did interfere with the throw, that would explain it because the throw was very high, and if it had been on point, they certainly had a good chance of catching Millard stealing.
Well, the home plate umpire is talking to Tyler Brunn about it. Just wanted a clarification as to what took place there. Smathers deals and tried to get the outside corner, couldn't for ball 3. And that may not have been batter's interference, by the way, on Diesel Toth. Usually results in an automatic out, but they kept him in the batter's box. So it could have been something else that we just didn't notice, but either way, 3-2 coming up.
Head to White Spruce Trailer Sales on K Beach Road, your local dealer for TYM tractors. That's right, they have TYM tractors and implements. Anything from TYM pallet forks, box blades, snow removal, and more. Built to work as hard as you do, from sales to service.
Said Baker, a top-tier pitcher out there on the mound. Oilers just trying to do whatever they can to put the ball in play. Musil just couldn't make contact.
So Brooks Hossenclaver heads to the plate, working as the first baseman for the Oilers in this one. Last night against Chugiak, he was in the lineup as well in a pretty similar spot. Reached a couple times on a walk and also grounded out to second. Watches this pitch from Baker work inside for ball 1. Hossenclaver back at first base for this game and fouls this one off to the left side. Another guy who's moving to a new school in this upcoming season, much like Jackson Baker. Hossenclaver going to go be a member of Central Arkansas for the 2027 college baseball season. 1-1 pitch coming up here to the first baseman, Hossenclaver. Watches Baker's pitch be delivered low for ball number 2. Oilers were shut out by Chugiak in those 5 innings yesterday. 7-0 loss, and you can bet that that has weighed on the minds of these bats, and they're trying to make sure that that is not repeated today. Baker again low for ball 3. I'll tell you what, something about Hassenclaver, and I talked to him recently about this, his ability to not only recognize when pitches are coming in, but somehow it seems like he's able to direct pitches lower or outside from where they usually would be. It's wild to watch. Fouls this one back for a 3-2 count, but it just seems like pitchers react differently whenever he's at the plate, Tucker.
Yeah, maybe he just stares at the ball really hard and prays for it to move, you know?
Well, he can be a pretty intimidating guy when it comes to the game of baseball. Certainly could be an imposing situation for a pitcher to be in, even somebody like Jackson Baker. 3-2 with 2 outs coming up to Hassenclaver. He's going to deliver a high chopper, fouls it to the right side, past Larry McCann for the Oilers, and the count stays full.
Like you said, that's obviously worked out for him this year. Leads the ABL in walks by a good bit. What does he have, like 35 now?
34 total walks this season, which is easily the most in the league, and could be approaching an ABL record for all I know. Have to go back to the archives to check that one out. Payoff pitch, well inside, and guess what? He's done it again. Walk number 35, forced this season by Brooks Hassenclaver, and it's his third of this road trip so far. First time today the Oilers have had a man on base.
Yeah, that's, like you said, the first base runner for the Oilers, and hopefully that's just the crack in the dam they need, and they can start opening the floodgates and start getting some runs back against Baker. By the way, I said that he was got to be somewhere around 35 walks. I was actually smack dab. I was just, a little prophetic there.
A little prophetic. You were mentioning the walk that was about to happen. Tucker Nostradamus over here. Isaac Fernandez will come to the plate for the Oilers, working as the catcher today in the 7-hole, and Baker, yet another ball, a little bit to the inside corner, and the count will be at 1-0. Isaac Fernandez, so far this season for the Oilers, has a .283 average with 13 hits and 2 RBIs. Pretty good at getting on base. Maybe doesn't have the RBIs on the stat line to back it up, but it doesn't take away the fact that he's been pretty solid in these situations. And speaking of solid, that's solid contact off the back of Fernandez for a hit by pitch. And now the Oilers all of a sudden with 2 runners aboard with 2 outs.
Yeah, unfortunately those 2 outs at the beginning of the inning still give the Miners a open door out with 1 out. But the Oilers bringing Holubowski to the plate, who's just been pounding the ball everywhere. And now would be a great time for a breakthrough hit.
And Jack Holubowski, unfortunately, will be leaving the Oilers soon, by the way, folks. So he's in his final couple games for the Oilers here in this next little stretch, trying to make the most of it. He has certainly been a significant piece, and we can't wait to see what he does next. But he is trying to make an impact late here for the Oilers this season, and he's got a good chance to do that with runners at first and second. Third baseman in the 8-hole today. Hassenclaver represents the tying run, and it's a swing and a miss on a Baker breaking ball. Count is going to be at 0-1.
Yeah, good to see Holubowski coming out aggressive. You can assume that Baker's a little shook up after allowing the last 2 hitters on base by a free pass, and Holubowski hoping to get a cheese ball. Unfortunately, swings through it.
0-1 pitch coming up to Holubowski here. Dealed by Baker, and the fastball's inside, and the count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike. Holubowski yesterday was struck out twice by Chugiak. Pretty rare to see him sat down like that. We'll see if that carries over in any way. 1 ball, 1 strike. Delivered and hit softly back to the right side. Picked up by the first baseman Millar on a little infield loop shot. And that will put an end to this bottom half of the second inning on an unassisted putout over at first base. Oilers get a couple men aboard on no hits and a walk and hit by pitch, but unable to cash in. Mat-Su maintains the 1-0 lead. We will be back for the top of the third in just a moment on ESPN. Don't go anywhere, folks. ESPN, Dylan Simmons and Tucker Blau joining you from Herman Brothers Field in Palmer, Alaska. And after 2 innings of action, Mat-Su still on top by a score of 1-0. Oilers had a couple of men on base in the bottom of the second, but couldn't cash in. They've left some runners on base in losses before this season, and if they want to win today, they're going to have to make sure that that trend does not continue in this contest.
Yeah, like I said, it was just good to see a crack in the dam of Jackson Baker that he has been today. He's just been a brick wall, and able to get a couple runners on base, and hopefully they can continue off that momentum when they come back up in the third inning.
Gash Millar heads to the plate, 9-1-2 due up for Mat-Su here. 13-9 currently on the season, which is enough to lead the Alaska Baseball League standings via win percentage, but it's very close between themselves and the Chinooks right now. as Millar showed bunt. Pitch went low for ball number 1. Miners have lost some pieces, by the way, recently. Tyler Akers, Matt Blind, both now gone for Mat-Su. They have added a couple of players, though, to take their spots. 1-0 pitch by Smathers. Nice breaking ball count, evens at 1-1. Bumpy Van Meter is one of those players. And we will potentially see him throughout the course of this road stretch. 1-1, swing and a miss for Cash Millar here, and the count will go to 1-2 as Smathers a little bit more effective as of late with that breaking ball.
Yeah, again, we see Smathers bouncing back after a first pitch ball, throwing 2 consecutive strikes. Now you've got Millar in swing mode, and he's got to protect with 2 strikes.
Comfort level certainly rising. 1-2, fouled back by Cash Millar. Speedy center fielder, some of the best speed on the team. Not quite what Tyler Akers had for Mat-Su, but Millar can certainly help fill that void. Akers was usually in the outfield for the Miners, but Millar will try to step up to fill that role. 1-2 pitch coming up from Cody Smathers. Deals a fastball, and it is a little bit low. Tried to get Millar to chase, and he did a good job of taking that one. Ball 2, and the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Again, a good 1-2 chase pitch from Smathers, just couldn't induce the chase. And this is a big out. You want to get this out with the top of the lineup that produced a run themselves back in the first inning. You don't want to put a guy on base.
2-2, fly ball delivered to center field. Mark Nellis back in left center now makes an easy catch for out number 1.
Yeah, that was just a routine play for the center fielder. Smathers doing exactly what he wanted to do, inducing that weak contact from Millar, and an easy fly ball to left center.
It's always nice for an outfielder when it's as routine as that. Will Godfrey reached on a walk, a 4-pitch walk from Cody Smathers his last time up. And again, this starts the lefty batter trend that we saw play out in a big way in the first and second innings. This is delivered low from Smathers for ball 1. And a 1-0 pitch coming up to Godfrey here.
Yeah, Godfrey walked and scored back in that first inning, working that 4-pitch walk, immediately followed by that huge double down the right field line from Offer. Bounce back at bat here.
Ground ball fouled to the right side. Count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike. Godfrey out of the D2 powerhouse of Central Missouri. Mat-Su has gotten players out of there before, and they've got connections to several schools across the country that are D1, and that pipeline has served them well in recent years, but the same could be said for the Oilers. 1-1 by Smathers. Yes, strike 2. Really nice off speed to the outside corner.
Yeah, after issuing 4 straight balls to Godfrey in his first at-bat, a good job getting ahead of the hitter here. Great location on that outside edge. Now finds himself ahead in the count 1-2.
That consistency has been suffocating as of late, and he just missed getting a strikeout here. It's ball 2. Same style of pitch, but a little bit lower, and Godfrey, good job on the take.
Yeah, that was so close. Excellent big league take from Will Godfrey, to say the least. That was just really, really close.
2-2, and this will be fouled toward the backstop. Count stays even for Godfrey. And again, I think Godfrey knew that he would have been struck out if he hadn't made contact with that one. Got just enough to stay at the plate.
Yeah, Smathers looking a lot more comfortable here in the last couple innings. Able to find his spots a little more, and hopefully he can finish the job right here.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Smathers deals. And this one is low for ball 3. Another bold take by Godfrey, and it pays off to run the count full.
Yeah, another terrific pitch. Just dropped below the zone last second. Like you said, gutsy take from Godfrey. Worked out for him, though. Obviously, he knows the strike zone better than I do, and now it's a full count.
Payoff pitch from Smathers, and that's too far inside for ball 4. So Will Godfrey will make his way over to first with a base on balls, and for the second time today, Godfrey has reached base on a walk.
Yeah, Godfrey, that walk wasn't quite as easy as his first one. I had to work a little for that one. That was just a great at-bat.
And again, this top part of the order continues to give problems for Cody Smathers. Austin Park has been the biggest problem so far. Reached on an RBI double his last time up in the top of the first. Lone RBI for either team so far today. Smathers trying to see what he can do to dispel of him real quick as the count goes to 0-1.
Yeah, Park the only guy to really put good contact on Smathers the first time through the order. Millard also got a hit, but it was just a weak ground ball to the left side that was hit to the perfect spot. So you got to watch out for Park.
0-1, runner takes off. That was strike 2. The throw to second base is over the head of Shane Cannon, way back to center field, and good work by Nellis to make sure that that one didn't get any further, or else we could have seen the runner advance all the way to third.
Yeah, good backup from Nellis, like you said, able to hold that runner at second. He would have been safe anyway, probably, with how high that throw was, even if Cannon was able to get up to it. So that was just good backup from Nellis to keep him from advancing 2 bases.
Well, Matsu has not been afraid about trying to steal bases this season, and we just saw that in full play right there with Will Godfrey. Austin Park at the plate hails from Mona, Utah, and from Brigham Young University, BYU, and is looking to become a breakout player for the Cougars in this next season, playing with some pretty tremendous teams in the Big 12 right now. 0-2 coming up. Smathers delivers, and this is fouled into the cage directly in front of us. Keeps it at no balls and 2 strikes. A foul ball off the end of the bat of Park.
Boy, when I saw him start to swing, I was like, oh, that's going to be a strikeout. Somehow able to make contact with that and foul it back. Austin Park stays alive.
Yeah, just barely was able to do so. Trying to see if he can bring Godfrey in once again. He was at first base his last time. He's at second this time. 0-2. This is low, and it gets away from Fernandez. Had trouble locating the baseball for a moment as it bounced off of him, and that will take Godfrey to third, and the count's 1-2.
Yeah, the ball playing a little pinball there between and Park and the umpire maybe even, and just took a while for Fernandez to find the ball, just enough time to allow Godfrey to advance to third.
A 1-2 coming up, and now Godfrey well into scoring position, and he would just need a sac fly here to come home. Smathers does not want either one of those things to happen as he delivers a breaking ball to the outside for ball number 2.
Yeah, like you said, that wild pitch completely changes the dynamic of this at-bat. All you need is a deep fly ball to score that run or even a slow grounder. You'll see the infield move in trying to prevent that run on a ground ball. We'll see how Park is able to handle this situation.
Well, we know Park's fully capable of a sac fly. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Smathers' fastball is low for ball 3. And again, some good takes by these Matsu batters. The plate discipline is really paying off in this top of the third.
The whole infield for the Oilers now on the grass. That obviously, if a hard ground ball is hit, it's going to have to be right at somebody to make a play, but the Oilers willing to take that risk.
Payoff pitch coming up from Smathers. Steals this one for strike 3. Austin Park had already taken off to first base, but not so fast, my friend. That's out number 2.
That was a great pitch. Park obviously thought, or I don't know if he thought or if he was just trying to hope to influence the umpire's decision there by throwing his stuff off, because that looked like a strike to me.
That looked like a strike from my vantage point as well. Beautifully placed above the inside corner of the plate. Third strikeout for Cody Smathers in this game. Luke Hughes now to the plate, struck out swinging his last time up, and Smathers deals a fastball high for ball 1.
Yeah, and that's a huge strikeout of Austin Park with a runner on third and less than 2 outs. Like we said, one of the easiest situations to score from the offensive side.
Smathers works quickly, 1-0, check swing. Did he go around? He did not, and it's ball 2. Very close for Luke Hughes that time, but just able to hold back. 2-0 coming up from Hughes. Critical juncture early in this 7-inning game. It's a lot more of a sprint than it is a marathon in this first contest because, again, you've got the 7 innings to contend with. Here's a pitch from Smathers that's high again for ball 3, and just like that, Luke Hughes could get on base with a walk.
Yeah, you say it's a shorter game with only 7 innings. You also got to look ahead, though. There's going to be 14 innings of baseball today, so.
At least. Here is a strike on a breaking ball from Cody Smathers. Count goes to 3-1. Remember the last doubleheader between the Oilers and Chinooks that we called, that last game ended up going 8 innings. So it's very possible we could get another one of those today. 3-1. Here's a line shot right into the glove of the shortstop Nolan Graw, who got up on his pogo stick to make the catch for an L6 and out number 3. Matsu came close but unable to bring in another run. Will Godfrey got all the way to third, but that's it. Your score remains Matsu 1, Oilers nothing. We'll be back for the bottom of the third, and the Oilers bats in just a moment on ESPN.
When you've been involved in a car accident, getting healthy is the most important thing. Having an advocate that can go out and get a full and fair recovery for you should not be something that you have to worry about. When people have been injured and suffered catastrophic injury or huge medical bills, other insurance companies can come and try to reduce your recovery. It's imperative to have someone that knows how to fight with these insurance adjusters look out for your Elsner and Cooley. We want to add value to your case to ensure a maximal fair recovery.
Hello, I'm Marty Hansen, owner and manager of Eyewear Express. Let's talk about your money. Let's talk about getting up at 0 dark 30 to make a buck. Whether you're working in the hospital, one of our schools, or in the rain and snow, or you spend weeks away from your family, Eyewear Express knows the value of your money, and we promise the glasses we sell you mean as much to us as your money does to you. Eyewear Express will build you eyewear that are worth the money you use to pay for them. Expect the best from Eyewear Express, located in the Peninsula Center Mall, Soldotna.
Welcome back here on ESPN. Dylan Simmons and Tucker Blau joining you. And on the Three Bears Alaska scoreboard after 2.5 innings of play, it is Mat-Su 1, Oilers nothing. 2 hits for the Miners so far, none for the Oilers, no errors for either team. Pretty defensive game so far and good pitching from both Jackson Baker as well as Cody Smathers for the Miners and Oilers respectively. But the Miners almost broke through in the bottom of the second. We'll see if they can break through in the bottom of the third here, Tucker.
Like you said, the Miners able to score that run within the first 2 batters of the game and have since been unable to put runs across the board. On the other side, the Oilers kind of garnering that momentum as the game goes on. So hopefully you'll see that shift continue as the game.
Brady Brown is at the plate, swings and misses at this offering from Jackson Baker. 9-1-2 due up for the order. Brown, Martin Ellis, and Shane Cannon. 0-1 pitch from Baker, working fast, and just like that, strike 2. The velocity that he has is nothing short of impressive, and I don't know what his exact speed is right now, but I got to say it's approaching mid-90s with some of the stuff we've seen. 0-2, and a swing and a miss. A 3-pitch strikeout for Jackson Baker on Brady Brown starts this bottom half of the third inning.
Yeah, that's exactly what Baker wanted, to say the least. A quick 1-2-3 strikeout of Brady Brown. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, as a talented broadcaster would say.
Yes, our good friend Bob Bird would say that, to be specific. Martin Ellis at the plate for the Oilers as this pitch is well outside and bounces off of the glove of Will Millard for ball number 1. Top of the order brought to you by State Farm agent Christy Babcock. Start the next inning in your life with the top insurance team. 1-0 on the way to Nellis, and he almost went around that time, but able to hold back to make it a 2-0 count. He grounded one out to Diesel Toth, the second baseman, in his first appearance at the plate back in the bottom half of the first inning. 2-0 is fouled off by Nellis behind the press box, and the count will be at 2-1. Thankfully, the rain, it looks like, that was forecasted to possibly come in right around game time has went around us, and that's a good thing to see. And according to the forecast, we should be free the rest of the afternoon, so we'll be able to, it looks like, get both of these games in. 2-1, swing and a miss by Nellis, and the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day for baseball, but especially after yesterday, this just feels great. Better conditions compared to yesterday.
Remarkably is the right word, and this pitch is just a little bit high from Jackson Baker for ball number 3 on Nellis. Payoff pitch coming up. Nellis recently announced that he'll be joining Eastern Michigan this next season, and the future Eagle swings and misses at this offering from Jackson Baker. That breaking ball continues to be a real problem for these Oilers. 2 straight strikeouts to start the bottom of the third.
Yeah, Baker able to bounce back from what was his rockiest inning back in the second when he allowed 2 runners on via a walk and a hit by pitch. Able to get 2 strikeouts, and Oilers, Shane Cannon, only the thing in between him and striking out the side.
Flew a ball out to right field, his first time up back in the top half of the first inning, as this pitch is delivered outside by Jackson Baker. Again, in his final start of the season for Mat-Su, but so far this year, he's been incredible for the Miners, to say the least, in his varied appearances. Delivers this one high for ball number 2. League leader in strikeouts is Jackson Baker, and there's a reason that Mat-Su leans so heavily on what he's able to do.
Bounce on inflatable fun and grab a snack at the snack bar. Birthdays, work parties, and so much more. You can book them now at Jumpin' Junction on Cavey's Road. Jumpin' Junction, where there's fun for the whole family.
Welcome back to Herman Brothers Field here in Palmer, Alaska. The Oilers visiting Palmer, but they are the home team on the scoreboard tonight. Smathers back on the mound for his 4th inning of work here in the top of the 4th. He's gone 3 innings, only allowed 2 hits and 1 run with 2 walks. He's struck out 3. It's really been a great outing after Godfrey and Park were able to put a run on him in the first.
Yeah, it has been a tremendous outing for Cody Smathers, to say the least, and his ability to maintain his composure and stay focused in after that big RBI double he gave up to Austin Park early has been really impressive to watch.
Yeah, a lot of times you'll see pitchers kind of fall apart if they let a run off early like that, and he's been able to do the opposite. He's bounced back and held them scoreless 2 innings in a row, looking for a third here, as he's going to start off with a swinging strike against Declan Spooner.
Yeah, we got Spooner, Babcock, and Millard, and really already got Austin Park in the top half of the third. This time goes after Spooner in that low outside corner, and it's in the spot where Spooner really can't do anything about it, just kind of hung back and ended up paying off for Smathers. Fantastic positioning on that pitch.
Yeah, first base for strike number 1. Good pitch by Smathers. Be able first base for strike number 1. Good pitch by Smathers. Be able to get back. You certainly don't want the count to run 3-0.
No, you certainly don't. What's helped this Mat-Su offense a lot is that they've gelled and they've found the consistency at the plate that they didn't have in the first part of June, and that's really helped them congeal as a unit.
The 2-1 delivery is also low for ball 3. The count's going to run further into that hitter's count, 3-1 the 3. The count's going to run further into that hitter's count, 3-1 the count, and you're going to Smathers gets the ball back on the mound, toes the rubber, gets the sign, now ready for the payoff pitch. It catches just out. He's asking the umpire for clarification on where that missed. Umpire says it was just outside, and Babcock winds up on first base.
Yeah, that was a very close call over there toward the outside corner, and I can understand Smathers maybe being a little bit unsure about that call, but it's a situation, and there comes a time where it kind of gets telegraphed at some point. Oilers saw that coming from a mile away. Fernandez had plenty of time on the throw. The operation was perfect, and that is a huge second out here in this top half of the fourth.
So Babcock erased. Millard at the plate takes ball 3, and now the count is 3-0.
And you can tell that the practice the Oilers have been doing on those types of plays is really starting to come in handy here in this month of July. They've gotten a lot better about catching runners stealing as of late.
The 3-0 delivery from Smathers right down the middle for strike 1, 3-1. A lot of times you'll see hitters taking all the way on 3-0, which is exactly what Millard was doing. Millard, obviously with that ground ball single to the left side back in the second inning. Now finds himself in a 3-1 count here in the fourth. The next pitch is very outside for ball 4. Second consecutive walk issued by Smathers, but now that caught stealing is huge. You've got 2 outs and only 1 runner on base.
Yeah, you can allow another walk in a situation like that when you're able to get the caught stealing, but obviously if you're Cody Smathers, you've got to work to find the zone a little bit more consistently here. Trying to target those corners, but
Smathers with a courtesy pickoff to first base, and Millard dives back safely. He now has 4 walks on the day to match 4 strikeouts. Usually you want to try to keep the strikeouts ahead of the walks, and we'll see if he can come back with one here against Kenyon Millar, who flies one deep to right field, ranging back, and that is off the wall. Millard rounding third base. He's going to head to the plate. The relay from Cannon is in time. What a Thankfully, only chasing one after just a sensational play to end the top of the fourth inning. Dylan, how often do you see an inning with a sequence of strikeout, walk, double, and that's all the hitters of the inning?
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often. But again, you get the caught stealing, and then you take the runner out at home. Just a fantastic play by Brady Brown. I want to talk about that again real quick, because in that situation, off the wall, it's so hard to sometimes almost want to give up on the play, but Brown stuck with it. He knew he had a big arm, and if he could get it off in time, they had a shot. They got the shot they wanted, and again, that throw was ridiculous.
First pitch to Diesel Toth, who's leading off the inning. Sorry, not Diesel Toth. Oh, my goodness. Nolan Graw, who's leading off the inning for the Oilers, is a called strike. And then a ball to even the count at 1-1, a fouled back 1-2 the count.
And all of a sudden, like you said, that completely changes what the dynamic could have been in this bottom of the fourth. You're still down 1-0. You just need to scratch across that one runner. At the very least, maybe try to outlast Jackson Baker here.
1-2 pitch is very low and outside for ball 2. And often the spark you need to start a rally isn't delivered on the offensive side of the ball. Maybe the Oilers can use that momentum from that terrific relay to end that inning and try to put some runs across the plate here. The 2-2 delivery from Baker fouled back for, stays alive. Graw still in a 2-2 count.
Well, this is the part of the order where the damage could be done for the Oilers because you've got Graw, Lusky, Musil, Hassenclaver coming up, in my opinion, for the best batters the Oilers have at their disposal right now.
2-2 delivery, swung through for strike 3. Graw goes down swinging
as well. And if anyone's going to be unaffected by a foul ball off your own body, it would probably be Luke Lusky. He's just got a lot of grit inside that heart of his.
Also maybe trying to aura farm a little bit there. The 3-2 fouled back again, and we're going to see our 4th consecutive full count pitch here from Jackson Baker.
Boy, Luke Lusky is really trying to fight off what Baker's offering right now. Great battle between batter and pitcher here in this moment. Lusky trying to get him to blink again. He's trying to get him with that breaking ball, but Lusky's not chasing.
Lusky about to see the 8th pitch of the at-bat, and it's a called strike at the bottom of the zone. Lusky, a good at-bat, but goes down looking, and that's going to be the second out of the inning. 2 consecutive strikeouts for the second inning in a row in this game as Musil takes ball 3. And now Baker at risk of issuing only his 2nd walk of the day. He did hit a guy by pitch.
And I know a one run in this situation feels like a lot.
Called strike right down the middle.
But it isn't as much as you might think in this situation. We saw a couple runners get on base for the Oilers. Even against Baker, you can get it done. It's just a matter of seizing opportunities.
3-1 driven left side. That's going to get down in the gap for a base hit. Owen Musil with a little 2-out spark. That's the Oilers' first hit of the day, and he's aboard for Hassenclaver.
And there we go. Seizing opportunities. Owen Musil's all about that. He's been a great hitter all season long, and part of that is his ability to get balls down into the gap. Saw the hole in left center field, placed it there perfectly with a great single. Not much the outfield can do in that situation, and that's the first hit of the day for the Oilers here.
It's just a great smooth swing from Musil. If you try to swing too hard against a pitcher like Baker, you'll end up with weak contact or just a complete miss. So able to just swing through the ball and deposit it into that left center field turf. And now Hassenclaver with a chance to come through for the Oilers here with a runner on first and 2 outs. He's going to take a strike at the top of the zone.
Reached on a walk his last time up. The only walk so far that Baker has forced today.
And if anybody on the Oilers was going to draw a walk, it would be Hassenclaver. 35 on the season. Hassenclaver back into the box, ready for the 0-1 pitch from Baker. Baker checks the runner, and now the pitch. Ground ball up the middle. That's going to get through for a base hit. Musil is going to hold up at second, but the Oilers trying to put something together. Again, it's just unfortunate that they're getting these base runners with 2 outs.
Yeah, it's obviously tough, but again, the Oilers have done damage with 2 outs before this.
Inning, Cody Smathers back on the mound for his 5th inning. He's only allowed 1 run. That came back in the first inning. That's not due to lack of effort from the Miners. They've left 3 on base and just a lot of runners on the base paths and a caught stealing, a relay to the plate. Just Oilers demonstrating their ability on the defensive side of the ball tonight.
Yeah, the defense has been nothing short of tremendous so far. The throws from Isaac Fernandez, the throw from right field from Brady Brown to get the 9-4-2, to get the runner out at the end of the bottom half of the top half of the 4th inning, I should say. Those have been difference-making plays for the Oilers so far in this game, and it's part of the reason why the game is still at 1-0. But also Cody Smathers and his ability to recover on the mound and adjust to what he's seen from these Mat-Su batters has certainly helped out in that part of the game. But the thing is, here in this top half of the 5th inning, we saw some struggles from Smathers late in that 4th with a couple of straight walks issued to Babcock and Millard. He's going to have to make sure that that goes away in this top of the 5th right here.
Toth, Millar, and Godfrey due up for the Miners. First has to work around Toth, who grounded into a double play to end the 2nd inning. He's going to check swing, strike 1 on a pitch that was low and inside. 0-1 the count on Diesel, which, by the way, is still the coolest name between the 2 teams, I believe.
Even as an Oilers announcer, I got to say Diesel might take the cake for coolest name in the league. It's a fantastic one, and that's one that I'd almost want to ask him where it came from because it's such a cool and unique name and very fitting, I think, for a baseball player.
After a foul ball, the 0-2 delivery swung through strike 3, and that's exactly how Smathers wanted to start out the inning. His 5th K of the day. He's going to match Baker's total, so tremendous outing from both pitchers.
Yeah, no Diesel in the tank on that one. Great fastball from Cody Smathers on Toth that time, right up the middle. He's been mixing it in a little bit more as this game has continued on and got it to pay off in a big way right there for yet another K.
9-hole hitter stepping into the box, Cash Millar, who flew out to center back in the 3rd inning. He's 0 for 1, now in the box for the 2nd time today. First pitch delivered for a strike, 0-1 the count on Millar. Now the next one is just low for ball one, 1-1 now on the 9-hole. Cash Millar, center field for the Miners tonight. Flew out to his counterpart on the Oilers back in the 3rd inning. Now takes a strike on the high inside corner, 1-2. He's going to have to protect here, and Smathers looking for his 6th K of the game.
Yeah, and Smathers is working a little bit more quickly all of a sudden in this top of the 5th. He's a guy, once he gets into a rhythm, he likes to stay there.
Oh, and that's unfortunate. The next pitch on the 1-2 is going to catch Millar on the elbow guard, and that's going to send him to first base for free. First hit by pitch for Smathers tonight, but he has struggled a little bit with control. He has walked 4, so hopefully that runner he's able to work around that hit by pitch and get a couple outs here.
Yeah, placed that one a little too far to the inside, and Millar able to reach first base on that. That's a big hit by pitch, and it certainly sets up Mat-Su well for the remainder of this inning, especially with the top of the order coming up.
Yeah, not what you want to do with the 9-hole at the top of the order. First pitch to Will Godfrey is low for a ball. Of course, the top of the order is brought to you by State Farm agent Christy Babcock. Protect yourself and your assets by putting Christy and her team at the top of your lineup. The 1-0 delivery to Godfrey, who has not logged a plate appearance. The runner goes, the throw down in time. It was a swim move attempted by Cash Millar, but the call is out. Another great throw from Fernandez, second caught stealing on the day.
Yeah, Fernandez has really become wise to Mat-Su's attempts to try to steal second base. He already got him once earlier in this game and is able to get him again here on another fantastic throw. It was Babcock in the 4th inning, and now it's Cash Millar in the 5th inning.
And caught stealings are just absolutely huge. It just completely erases the runner off the base paths and gives you an out, as the next pitch to Godfrey is swung through for a strike, 2-1 the count on the leadoff hitter.
And I understand Mat-Su's philosophy on that, but at some point,
ground ball right side, picked up by Cannon. Throw to first is going to end the inning. Go ahead, Dylan.
Yeah, at some point you got to be a little bit more wise to that situation, that Fernandez has noticed that and is making good throws over there. Quick 4-3 there to end the top of the 5th.
That's going to end the inning. Unconventional 1-2-3 inning. Smathers able to work around the hit by pitch with the caught stealing, second on the day. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left on base. We'll be back with the bottom of the 5th. The Oilers bringing up Holubowski, Brown, and then back to the top for Nellis when we come back on ESPN Radio.
Cuts, fractures, sprains, burns, fishhooks, and workplace accidents. Odyssey Urgent Care treats the injuries that can't wait. Need stitches? They perform laceration repairs right here. Got a fishhook where it doesn't belong? Well, they can help with that too. With on-site x-ray services, splinting, braces, and expert injury care, you can get diagnosed and treated in one convenient visit. Conveniently located in Kenai in the Odyssey Family Practice Building. Open Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Walk in or call 907-283-8400. Odyssey Urgent Care.
I didn't think they'd pull him. Not after I've been doing. Holy cow.
Hazardous trees are such a problem here on the Kenai Peninsula, but they have to be handled, and the place to call is AK Tree Solutions. With many years of experience in residential hazardous tree removal, they offer guaranteed customer satisfaction, and they're very accommodating. AK Tree Solutions also offers tree pruning, and they're licensed and insured. Get those hazardous trees off your property today. Call AK Tree Solutions, 907-398-2903. That's 907-398-2903.
Welcome back to Herman Brothers Field here in Palmer, Alaska. Tucker Blau here with Dylan Simmons. Race Lee back in the studio on the board for us. Jackson Baker back on the mound for the Miners, and he has recorded the first 2 outs of the inning. Every single inning, first 2 batters, he got out. So Oilers looking to change that trend. All the damage they've been able to do against him was with 2 outs already recorded.
Yeah, and that's the thing with the Oilers is they've gotten guys on base, but it's always been with 2 outs in this game. They've got to get guys on base a little bit earlier in the frame to be able to get some runs here.
First pitch to Holubowski, swung through for strike 1, and Holubowski looking to change that trend and get on base to lead off the inning. Leadoff base runners usually come around to score, so we'll see what Holubowski can do here. He grounded out to first in his first plate appearance. Now ready for the 0-1, swung through again, strike 2.
And there's that breaking ball again from Baker. Holubowski not able to find a lot of contact with it right now. And you do not want to start off with an out here, especially with a hitter as primed as Holubowski usually is if you're the Oilers.
Holubowski ready for the 0-2, swung through strike 3. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to quote Bob Bird, and that's going to be the quick first out of the inning.
6th strikeout for Baker in this game, and this one was one of his best. Just a quick K on Holubowski. The breaking ball was really his friend in that spot. Went with 3 straight. Jack couldn't make contact on it. It's so hard to be able to counter that when it's finding the zone as consistently as it is.
Like I said, Baker able to retire the first 2 batters of the inning, every single inning so far. And in fact, in the 3rd and 4th inning, he retired both those outs on back-to-back strikeouts. And he's looking to continue that trend here today. Obviously, Brown, the 9-hole, looking to avoid it as he takes a ball and then fouls one off, 1-1.
Yeah, fouled that one off to the left side that time. Of course, Brady, last night against Chugiak, was able to reach once in the contest and ended up grounding out later in the game in the 5th inning of that contest.
Which turned out to be the last inning, which was somewhat unfortunate for the Oilers in a game that they were hoping to at least put an effort into coming back on. Count runs to 2-1.
Yeah, and obviously that frustration doesn't entirely carry over today, but the emotions are still fresh, right? And maybe adds a chip to the shoulder of the Oilers.
Next pitch to Brown, swung through for strike 2, 2-2. Brown 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout.
Gives you that much more incentive to go out and try to get a victory here today and get yourself back up in the standings after you feel like you may have been wrong last night.
Baker on the 2-2, fouls it off to stay alive, putting together a decent at-bat here against Baker, and Brown looking to at least put a ball in play.
Yeah, if he could get on base, even with just 1 out in this bottom of the 5th, it could be a huge difference for the Oilers with the top of the order coming up, despite the fact that they haven't been able to find much. We know they're still very much capable of that.
Brown back into the right side of the batter's box, fouls another one off, and the 2nd consecutive foul ball keeps the count at 2-2.
Off the end of his bat this time, able to find a little bit more success than Holubowski did a moment ago on these offerings from Baker.
Either way, it's just... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, just can't get it into the field of play right now.
The 2-2 delivery. Just missed for ball 3. A good take from Brown. Just a little inside. And good to see the Oilers put together a good at-bats against what's, like we've said before, just been electric stuff from Baker tonight. Now another ground ball right side. This one also is going to twist foul. And Baker is now set up to see his 9th pitch of the at-bat.
Looks a lot like Luke Lusky's at-bat back in the 4th inning. He ended up striking out looking in that 4th inning at-bat. So Brown's hoping that that's not what's going to take place here, but doing a good job of just keeping himself up.
Brown ready for the 3-2. Grounder right back up the middle. That's going to be picked up by the second baseman Toth. Over to Millar in time to record the out. That's the second out of the inning. And once again, the first 2 batters retired for the Oilers.
Yeah, it's such a tug of war between Baker and whoever he's going against in that situation. Even if you're able to keep yourself up on a full count, his ability to induce weak contact continues, and it makes it very easy on this infield for Matsu, who usually in these situations don't make mistakes. So, again, 2 quick outs for Baker, just the way he likes it.
Mark Nellis, the top of the lineup for the Oilers, stepping into the right side. He's going to take a strike on the outside edge. Of course, the top of the lineup is brought to you by State Farm agent Christy Babcock. Auto insurance, homeowners, life insurance, and investing opportunities with locations in Kenai and Soldotna. The 0-1 delivery catches his own for strike 2, 0-2 the count. Call today for State Farm agent Christy Babcock at 907-283-7116 for Kenai, 907-262-4440 for Soldotna. Remember, like a good neighbor, Christy and her team are there for you, and that's going to end the at-bat for Mark Nellis. A swinging strike 3. Maybe he needs some at-bat insurance. Maybe he should go visit State Farm. He's going to head back to the dugout. That's going to end the inning. Oilers unable to put up a run yet again. They still trail by 1, looking to bounce back in the bottom 2 innings of the first game of this twin bill. Dylan Simmons with a play-by-play when we come back right here on ESPN Radio.
Ready to spice up your day? Playa Azul in Kenai is serving a bold, authentic Mexican food made with love and packed with flavor. New to town or just passing through, this is your must-stop spot for amazing variety, unbeatable prices, and all your favorites. Enjoy the free salsa bar and kick back with cold beer or a glass of wine. Located just past the last traffic light in Kenai, headed north, Playa Azul is where the fiesta never ends. Come hungry, leave happy. Playa Azul Mexican Restaurant.
The warehouse is open at Sweeney's Clothing in Soldotna. Come discover amazing deals with savings from 30 to 70% off on flannels, jeans, footwear, jackets, and a wide variety of summer essentials. Plus, they've got lots of new merchandise you didn't see last year. Whether you're heading to work, hitting the trails, or getting the family ready for summer, now's the time to stock up and save. Don't miss the warehouse sale at Sweeney's Clothing in Soldotna. Your workwear and outerwear headquarters for the whole family.
Welcome back here on ESPN. Dylan Simmons, Tucker Blau joining you for the top half of the 6th inning. And on the Three Bears Alaska scoreboard after 5 innings of play, it is still Mat-Su Miners 1, Peninsula Oilers nothing. 3 hits for the Oilers, 3 for the Miners, 2 for the Oilers so far. Cody Smathers' day is at an end, and Justin Parks takes the mound for the first time in this road stretch. And Tucker, what was the final line for Cody in this one?
Yeah, Cody Smathers puts up 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, 4 walks, and 5 strikeouts. So ends up ahead in the strike walk column. 79 pitches thrown. Certainly not a bad outing after allowing that run in the first 2 batters.
Yeah, did a really good job recovering as the game went on, and did a good job of holding these red-hot Mat-Su bats to a pretty low total, all things considered. Now it's Justin Parks on the mound. He's gone 15 1/3 this year and has a 1.17 ERA, one of the best bullpen guys for the Oilers. And his first pitch of the game is going to be high and outside for ball 1. It's Austin Park, Luke Hughes, and Declan Spooner, 2, 3, and 4, to lead off this inning for Mat-Su.
We've got Parks versus Park here, and actually, Justin Parks obviously features that elite fastball, just great velocity, and looking to use that against one of the best hitters in the league.
Fouled off by Park, who struck out looking against Cody Smathers last time, but he also delivered the lone RBI of the day on a double way back in the top half of the first inning. Oilers, of course, the designated home team, as we've mentioned many times for this one. 1-1 pitch by Parks. Here's a drive out towards center field, and it's going to get down in front of Martin Ellis for a base hit. Austin Park with a great drive to lead off the top half of the 6th, and he becomes the first hitter today to get multiple hits for either side.
Yeah, great hit up the middle there for Park. I thought, off the bat, I was like, that's an easy single for sure. But the way Nellis was running up to it, using that elite speed, I thought he might have a chance to lay out and make the grab. Fortunately, making the probably wiser decision, not as fun decision, but the probably wiser decision to hold up and just play it on a bounce. Because if you dive for that, it might get by you, and you could be all sorts of trouble.
Yeah, if it's for the game, you sometimes make that diving attempt, but when it's still a bit away like we are right now, I think you sometimes hold off. It is Luke Hughes at the plate, who lined the ball out to Nolan Graw his last time up and has also struck out swinging in this game, so 0 for 2 so far. He's got Austin Park, who's now 2 for 3 over at first, representing the second run for Mat-Su in this contest. 0-1 pitch, breaking ball from Parks is low, and the count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike.
And you got to wonder here if you're going to see Park take off for second base. The Miners stole a couple bases early, but the last 2 have both been caught stealing, so hope he goes because Fernandez is just on a hot stretch.
Yeah, Fernandez certainly you would think would be ready, so they may be a little bit more reserved about trying to steal base right now. Parks delivers. This is high and outside for ball number 2. In Parks' last appearance against Chugiak on July the 8th, he went 3 2/3 innings with 1 earned run given up in what was a 5-3 loss for the Oilers in Game 4 of the home series. Didn't appear against Mat-Su at home, but is appearing here today. 2-1 is delivered. Zips this one low for ball 3. Fernandez going to try to throw it to second, but he's not going to get there in time. And that was the signal that Park needed. The pitch was a little bit low. Fernandez had to catch up to it. Park recognized it immediately and took off. And Mat-Su's aggressive nature at trying to steal base does pay off this time.
Yeah, I think Park saw that downward angle of the ball and just decided to go, knowing that Fernandez would have to block it. It almost worked out. Fernandez able to keep it in front of him, but unfortunately, as he got to the ball, he kind of lost his footing. His right foot slipped out from underneath him, couldn't get too much on the throw, and it's just enough for Parks to be able to get in behind the tag.
Well, Luke Hughes now at the plate, facing a 3-1 count after the low pitch by Justin Parks. Runner at second is Austin Park. And that is inside for ball number 4. So Justin Parks has put 2 straight men on base here for Mat-Su. Park reaching on a single and Hughes reaching on a walk.
Yeah, Parks definitely wants to get back into the zone here. You've got runners on first and second with Declan Spooner coming up to the plate. The Miners putting some pressure on Parks here, but he's certainly capable of bouncing back.
Well, the margin for error right now is so small for the Oilers because of this 1-0 deficit, and the fact that scoring runs has been so hard for the Oilers today. You're going to feel naturally a little bit more pressure in this situation to try to be able to force the Miners to not score in this top half of the sixth, but Parks has to try to continue to play solidly no matter what here.
Yeah, an insurance run or two would be absolutely huge for the Miners. With Jackson Baker cooking as well as he is today, you get the feeling he's certainly going all 7, so the Oilers are going to need every run they can get.
Declan Spooner at the plate, grounded out to first his last time up, and also struck out looking. A bunt being shown is popped up and fouled along the left side by Spooner. That did not weigh the work that he was hoping it would.
No, that bunt not only foul, but straight up in the air. Certainly not Spooner's greatest bunt.
Yeah, never a welcome sight for a batter when you see a bunt attempt get popped straight up like that. And it just was a near disaster for Spooner right there in that situation. 0-1 pitch coming up from Justin Parks. Bunt being shown again. This time Parks delivers it low, and the count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike. Sometimes naturally as a pitcher you almost want to adjust when you see a bunt being displayed. You don't want to make it easy for the batter. And I think that was one that Parks may have been naturally or subconsciously placing lower on Declan Spooner. 1-1 coming up. Parks deals. Another bunt attempted. Rolled along the third base line. That's a fair ball. Holubowski throws on to first, and the throw gets away from Brooks Hassenclaver all the way into foul ground. Runners will stay at their bags as the ball was quickly recovered from foul territory, but the bases are loaded here.
Yeah, that was a great job by Cannon. With how slow that bunt was, obviously the nature of a bunt, he was able to get all the way over from his second base position to back up the throw, and it paid off. He was right there and able to hold all the runners on base. Unfortunate for the Oilers, they weren't able to get an out, but just a great play by Cannon to preserve a run.
Yeah, I was shocked that Cannon was able to get over there as fast as he was, because otherwise it would have been an easy run scored, and I was almost looking at the Matsu runner to naturally take off in that situation, but he didn't. So the bases are juiced. Spooner reaches on what's going to be an E5. It's the first error of the game for either side. Bases loaded for Matsu. It's Park over at third. Hughes is at second, and Spooner's over at first. Jackson Babcock now comes to the plate. Bases loaded with no outs in this top of the sixth. And this job just got a lot tougher for Justin Parks right here.
Now, the only good thing is here, if you can get a ground ball, you have a force at the plate. So they just have to go to the plate. All you have to do is touch home and then go to first, hoping for a double play.
Fly ball delivered out to center field. Nellis ranging after it. Can't get to it in time. He's going to try to throw home, but the throw's cut off by the pitcher, Justin Parks, and that will bring in a run here for Matsu. It's now 2-0 on a sacrifice fly from Jackson Babcock, and he gets the second RBI of the game.
So that wasn't a sac fly. That was a single
Or
up the
single,
middle. That was
yes.
That was just a great swing from Jackson Babcock. Line drive, able to deposit it into the outfield right in front of Nellis. And thankfully, the Matsu Miners, they couldn't just run on contact because they weren't sure if Nellis was going to be able to get there or not. So only one run comes home. You still got the bases loaded and a 2-0 deficit.
Will Millard reached on a single his last time up and reached on a walk his last time up and reached on a single back in the second inning. Here's a ball flown over to the right side of the ballpark. Ranging underneath it is Brady Brown. He does make the catch. Runners will stay in their positions as Brown delivers a wide and high throw. That is out number 1, and it's going to be a fly ball to get Millard out.
I mean, I have no idea what just happened. I did not know what to think about that throw out of the hand. It was so straight up, but somehow it ended up going directly to Fernandez covering home plate. So I don't know what the idea was there.
Well, it was certainly a quick throw, I would say, to just try to make sure, if at all possible, you can keep the runners in their respective positions, and Brown did a good job of exactly that. Kenyon Millar is now at the plate after the fly ball on Will Millard. Base is still juiced for Matsu right here. Parks delivers. This pitch is going to come in low and inside for ball number 1. Right now, the runners on base for Matsu are Luke Hughes, Declan Spooner, and Jackson Babcock. With Millar at the plate, trying to see if he can possibly bring one or more of them home.
You'll see the corner infielders move in for the Oilers, looking for a play at the plate, and the middle infield looking for a double play to get out of the inning.
1-0 pitch, well inside, almost a hit by pitch from Parks as the count goes to 2-0. Guy out of the bullpen never likes to see this sort of situation so early on into his appearance. Not really entirely Park's fault, but certainly not a good position to be in right now. 2-0 coming up to Canyon Millar. Parks deals. And this will be fouled off to the left side by Millar that time. Count will be at 2 balls and 1 strike.
Millar had that big double back in the 4th inning off the right field wall, in which we got that relay to the plate to keep the score at what was then 1-0. And so we certainly know he has some power with the way that ball came off the bat, though.
Absolutely does, and Parks understanding that as well as anybody right now. 2-1 pitch. This ball's popped up, won't be playable, and the count will even at 2-2. Pretty solid contact from Millar, just not in the direction he was hoping for.
Yeah, he was underneath it and able to foul it back and out of play. I thought off the bat it might stay in play, but obviously from my angle was completely different from the infield because they didn't even move.
They did not. They saw that one for what it was pretty quickly. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out coming up to Canyon Millar. Did strike out swinging back in the 2nd inning. Parks hoping for a similar situation here. Instead, it's a ground ball over to second, and they're going to tag the runner and get the runner at first as well. Oh, my gracious. They tag the runner coming over to second to get the out. The Mat-Su Miners can't believe it. Phenomenal play there by Shane Cannon. Got the out on Babcock and then got Millar.
Absolutely. What a sensational play from Cannon. Again, the Oilers flashing the leather with their second great defensive play, this one to end the inning. Able to not only tag the runner, but then make that insane off-balance, almost Derek Jeter throw, which second basemen don't usually get to do to end the inning.
Tyler Brunn looking for an explanation from the home plate umpire, but it's going to be a 4-3 double play to stop the top half of the 6th inning, and the Oilers, despite all the trouble, only give up 1 run. It's a 2-0 game going into the bottom half of the 6th inning. We'll be back in just a moment on ESPN for more Oilers baseball. Don't go anywhere.
Let's talk about something that's not always top of mind, still really important, life insurance. Because it offers financial protection for your loved ones and can help them pay for things like mortgage, credit card debt, and even your children's education. Plus, life insurance is probably a lot more affordable than you think. And with State Farm, your local agent can help you understand your options and choose coverage that fit your needs and budget.
Hi, this is Christy Babcock, your local State Farm agent, still in Kenai, and now also at the Soldotna Y.
Your health matters every day, not just when you're sick. At Peninsula Community Health Services, we're here to keep you well with personalized primary care and preventative services for the whole family. From checkups and screenings to managing ongoing conditions, our caring team is ready to help you stay ahead of your health. Don't wait. Take the first step toward feeling your best today. Call PCHS at 907-262-3119 or online at pchsak.org.
Peninsula Community Health Services. Healthcare for all.
Welcome back here on ESPN. Dylan Simmons and Tucker Blau joining you from Herman Brothers Field. And after 5.5 innings so far, Mat-Su is on top 2-0 over your Peninsula Oilers as we approach the bottom half of the 6th inning. It will be Shane Cannon, Nolan Graw, and Luke Lusky, 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Oilers in this inning. Cannon, Graw, and Lusky each have not recorded a hit yet today, but it would be a heck of a time to do so. And Cannon, of course, hot off that 4-3 double play to end the top half of the 6th inning, but he'll have to contend with the dynamic Jackson Baker, who's still on the mound. Baker's first pitch is inside, tight for ball 1.
And you got to remember, it is only the bottom of the 6th inning, but because of the twin bill, the first game, or actually both games, are only going to go 7 innings. So this is essentially the bottom of the 8th. So only 6 outs left for the Oilers.
That's exactly right. It's much more of a sprint kind of game as that pitch is high for ball number 2 from Baker, who could very well go 7 innings when all's said and done in this contest if he doesn't run into trouble. And Cannon swings and misses at another fastball from Baker to bring the count to 2-1.
Yeah, absolutely would not be surprised to see Baker go the whole game here. Not only because it's a shortened game, but also just because it's his last appearance. You know he wants to leave a good impression.
2-1 fouled off by Shane Cannon. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Baker approaching 80 total pitches for this game with 7 total strikeouts. In his final start of the season for Mat-Su, the ABL's strikeout king is having a signature performance right now. 2-2 pitch. And, bold take by Cannon, but it pays off for ball 3. That one looked like it clipped the low part of the zone, but Cannon saw it differently, and thank goodness he did.
Yeah, obviously Cannon knows the strike zone better than we do. That looked very close.
Payoff pitch, and that's fouled off by Shane Cannon, just barely, and that will keep the count full. 3-2 coming up here at Herman Brothers Field. They've got free admission today to the ballpark, and we expect to see a lot more fans trickle in as the Friday gets wound down here in the Mat-Su Valley. Should be a great doubleheader today. Payoff pitch, Cannon. Weakly hit ground ball over to Godfrey at third, who throws on to first and got it there in time for a 5-3. What a throw from the third baseman.
Yeah, like you said, just a terrific play from Will Godfrey down there on the third base line. I didn't think there was any chance he would play, but record the out.
One out here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. And again, we would like for you folks to stay on for the second half of our doubleheader later today in this twin bill between the Oilers and Miners. Lusky fouls this one off right off the roof of the press box up above us. Heard the big thud in the background. Count will be at 1-2. Oilers will have the bottom half of the 7th to also overcome this deficit, but they don't want it to come down to that if they can help it right here. 1-2 on the way to Lusky with Graw over at second base. And a called strike 3 from Jackson Baker. Another sensational strikeout. That is his 8th of the game, and it was a beauty to get Lusky that time as he was just able to rope that one in toward the top part of the zone. Owen Musil comes to the plate, and it feels like if the Oilers are going to attempt to make a comeback, this is going to have to be the time to do it. Musil did deliver a single his last time up back in the 4th inning. Hossenclaver, who's right behind him on deck, did as well. Both of those guys could help change the footprint of this game right now. Don't blame Musil for holding back on that one. It was kind of close to missing the zone, but it did just clip it. And he's forced to confront a 1-2 with 2 out situation. This is where the rubber could meet the road for Owen Musil and the Oilers. 1 ball and 2 strikes. This is a bold take by Musil, but it works out well for ball number 2. Again, in that middle part of the zone, but just away from it. 2 balls and 2 strikes with Graw over at second base. And again, Graw very speedy on the base path. Just needs an opportunity off one of these Musil hits. And that's high for ball number 3. So a payoff pitch coming up. And a 3-2 on the way for Musil here. What can he do with this payoff pitch situation? Trying to get the first run of the day on the board for the Oilers. 3-2 with 2 outs. Musil grounds one up the middle. That's going to get through for a base hit. Will they send the runner around? They will. Graw heading for home, and he's going to get there in time. Owen Musil with an RBI single here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. And finally, the Miners give up a run to the Oilers, and Peninsula's on the board. What a fantastic job by Musil, grounding that one up the middle for his 2nd straight hit. We said if there was a time to do it, it was now. And it looks like Ty LeBron may have seen enough from Jackson Baker, who was already approaching that 100-pitch count. And indeed, this will be the end of his day. New pitcher on the mound coming up for Mat-Su here. Oilers knocking on the door of maybe stealing a win away here in Palmer. We'll be back in just a moment on ESPN.
Hey, Caleb. Caleb, can you hear us? Hey, Caleb, you got us? Or Race, you got us?
Oh, that's right. It's not Caleb. My bad. I forgot. Hey, if I call the station, can I do it from my phone while he's doing it? Is there a way you can, like, merge that? Okay, that's fine then. Thank you.
I can kind of keep it in the middle here, if you want. We can, like, I don't know, maybe it'll be able to register both of us.
Like, put it up here.
Yeah, kind of lean into it, yeah.
What about Amsterdam? Do they even make cars? No matter what side of the car the steering wheel's on, we got you covered. Dan's Automotive serving the best customers in Alaska. Call 907-420-0416.
Welcome back here on ESPN. Dylan Simmons and Tucker Blau joining you for the bottom half, or top half of the 7th, I should say, between the Oilers and the Matsu Miners, or it is the bottom half of the 6th inning. Or, no, top half of the 7th, sorry. Stressful time, folks, as we've been trying to sort out all of our technical issues. But we are ready to go here for this top half of the, still in the bottom half of the 6th inning with Brooks Hossenclaver at the plate, who reached on a walk and a single back in the 2nd and 4th innings for the Oilers. And right now, the Oilers are on the verge of trying to complete a comeback against Matsu, down 2-1 with 2 outs, but Musil delivering a clutch RBI single just a few moments ago.
Jackson Baker's final line on the day: 5.2 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk. That run was not earned, by the way, because of that error on the third base. Of course, Owen Musil on first base is inherited from him, so we'll see if Musil's able to come around and tie this game.
That would be the hope for the Oilers here. It's Brady Clark who is on the bump for Matsu, far from the first time he's seen the Oilers thus far this season. Hossenclaver's at the plate. Musil represents the tying run over at first. And this is interesting because now you've got a new pitcher who the Oilers can be a bit more aggressive on and maybe have a bit more success attacking. We'll see if it pays off for Peninsula right here. There is a real chance to tie this game up at 2 runs apiece here in this bottom half on a breaking ball offered by Clark, and the count goes to 1-1.
Great pitch there from Brady Clark, able to come back against Hossenclaver. Hossenclaver looking to put a good at-bat together. A deep shot in the gap could possibly score Musil from first base. That's what he's looking to do.
1-1 coming up here for Hossenclaver, who reached on a walk and a single back in the 2nd and 4th innings. He's been the most effective batter for the Oilers so far today. Watch that pitch come in low. And again, Hossenclaver's not going to swing at anything that is too far away from the zone. Very consistent when it comes to his plate discipline. 2-1, Hossenclaver drives one over to second, picked up by Toth, who throws on to first for a 4-3. That's a big break for Matsu, and that will end this 6th inning for the Oilers. But still a successful frame for Peninsula. They put a run on the scoreboard on an Owen Musil RBI single, and it's a 1-run game going into what could be the final inning of the contest. We'll be back for the top of the 7th in just a moment from Palmer on ESPN.
Fall is just around the corner. Are you ready for your next chapter? At Kenai Peninsula College, we're ready for you. Registration for the fall semester is now open, offering the classes you need close to home. And big news, our residence hall is now open. Are they going to do that 7th inning stretch?
No, not for this first game. They may do it for the 2nd game, though.
Or any UA campus. Don't wait. Secure your classes in your room today at KPC, not Alaska.
Les Martin's out there now.
Find your place at KPC. Looking for the toughest trailers and equipment on the Kenai? Head to White Spruce Trailer Sales on K Beach Road. Your local dealer for TYM tractors. That's right, they have TYM tractors and implements. Anything from TYM pallet forks, box blades, snow removal, and more. Built to work as hard as you do. From sales to service, they've got the parts you need to keep your equipment running strong all year long. Speaking of service, White Spruce
bring Diesel Toth to the plate against Russ Martin as the Oilers try to keep this at a 2-1 deficit. 5 hits for Matsu so far in this game, 3 hits for the Oilers, 1 error on each side, and it was an error that brought Nolan Graw on base in that bottom half of the 6th, lest we forget. Eventually, that RBI single from Musil scored him on an unearned run. So right now, the Oilers hoping that that could help them. As this ball's popped up, into the infield. Who wants it? Austin Claver waves for it, and the first baseman makes the catch for out number 1.
Pretty routine infield pop-up there for Austin Claver, excuse me. He's able to range into the the infield right there behind the mound and make the grab. And a good first out. That's exactly what Martin wanted.
So Cash Millar will come to the plate. And again, if you're confused watching on YouTube right now as to why the Miners are, you would think they would be in this game. So a 2-2 coming up here. Martin on the bump. Wheels and deals, delivers a breaking ball, hit back towards second base, picked up by Cannon, throws to first for an easy 4-3 and out number 2. Great start for Russ Martin and this defense in the top of the 7th.
That was a great play by Shane Cannon, waiting back on that one. It was a kind of a soft line drive actually to him, and the temptation is to go up and try to make a catch right below, like scraping off the top of the dirt there. But a good job just hanging back, playing it on the bounce, making the easy play, and getting the out at first.
So Will Godfrey comes to the plate for Mat-Su here, who's reached twice on walks and has also grounded a ball out to second so far in this game. Russ Martin's first pitch is high for a ball. Count goes to 1-0. Godfrey has some of the best plate discipline on this Mat-Su roster, and it's paid dividends for him time and time again throughout this game. And this is delivered low by Martin as well for ball 2. 2-0 count coming up to Will Godfrey right here. Martin, ground ball hit hard to second, picked up by Cannon, throws to first for an easy 4-3 again, and out number 3. So Russ Martin and the Oilers defense, 1-2-3 the Miners in the top half of the 7th inning, and they'll have their last chance in game 1 in the bottom half of the 7th to try to at least tie this thing up or maybe get a walk-off win. Back in just a moment to Palmer here on ESPN. Don't go anywhere.
If you want, you can just do the at-bats, and then after a play happens,
yeah, that's fine.
That way it's not like switching.
Yeah, right.
I don't know how loud it is when you put it down and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's still relatively loud. Race can hear us, I know. It's just, yeah, we'll see.
When trying to find a dentist, it can be challenging. Ridgeway Family Dentistry knows this. Ridgeway is the new state-of-the-art facility offering you pain-free dentistry and is family-friendly. Even if you don't have time to have multiple appointments, Ridgeway Family Dentistry can complete all your treatment in one easy visit. At Ridgeway Family Dentistry, you know how important it is to have a smile and know how that can change your life. For your next dental appointment, call Ridgeway Family Dentistry at 262-8404.
Back here on ESPN, Dylan Simmons, Tucker Blau joining you from the phone here at Herman Brothers Field. And again, we hope to have the board back up for you in game number 2. We're going to be searching for some options in that game. But right now in the bottom half of the 7th, in the double bill we have today, game number 1, it is 2-1. Mat-Su on top of your Peninsula Oilers on the Three Bears Alaska scoreboard. 5 hits for Mat-Su, 3 for Peninsula, and 1 error on each side. Isaac Fernandez, Jack Holowowski, and Brady Brown will be leading off in this bottom of the 7th, barring any pinch hitters, and it is Brady Clark who is on the mound still for Mat-Su. Oilers trying to see if they can come from behind in this one and pull off a walk-off win here at Herman Brothers Field this afternoon. To the 5-6 hole, and the tying run just like that is aboard as Fernandez gets a leadoff single.
That's exactly what you want to see from the bottom of the order. As many guys you can get on base, the better, because that means less outs for the top, which is exactly what the Oilers need here. All they need is 1 run to tie this game, and we're going to see a pinch runner.
Yep, looks like Garrison Jones will come in as the courtesy runner for the Oilers and for Isaac Fernandez, who is over now at first base. 4th hit of the game for Peninsula, and it will be Jack Holowowski who will be at the plate for the Oilers here. Third baseman has struck out swinging and grounded out unassisted to first so far in this game. Holowowski, the third baseman, well, he would usually come in, but they may go the pinch hitter route, and they're going to. Looks like Luke Skinner's making his way out of the dugout here, Tucker, as a pinch hitter for the Oilers.
And I can't say, it might just be my passion as a Holowowski fan, but I'd rather see Holowowski in this spot. But this gives a great opportunity for Luke Skinner, who is probably going to be the primary replacement for Holubowski when he leaves here in a couple days to come through in a big spot.
Well, you're exactly right. Skinner's played third plenty of times this season, and now he is a pinch hitter for the Oilers. Isaac Fernandez is over at first, and we do know that Skinner has come through in big moments before, showing a bunt. Throw back to first. Fernandez just got back in time. That was very close as he had a pretty big leadoff.
Yeah, that's also another reason they might have brought Skinner in, is to bunt with his speed. Also, a good job by Jones out there at first to get back. Obviously, he's going expecting that bunt to be laid down, and was able to get back in first in time to beat the bat pick.
Yeah, Garrison Jones, I should say, got back in time. Skinner trying to lay down a bunt, but again, the pitch is wide. Count's going to be at 1-1 here coming up for Luke Skinner. And again, Jones with his speed serves him pretty well in the base path, and he's not going to be afraid to try to steal second base if there's an opportunity. But will the Oilers want him to be that aggressive in this situation? Another bunt attempted, but again, the pitch got by him on a breaking ball, and the count goes to 1-2. Nice work by Brady Clark, and this bunt, you would think, is taken away for Skinner here.
Absolutely. With 2 strikes, I'd be surprised to see him bunt. Although that runner on second base would be huge.
1-2 coming up to Luke Skinner. Pitch delivered here by Baker, and good take by Luke Skinner. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes toward the lower outside portion of the corner. Skinner did a good job of holding back. Garrison Jones, dirt on the jersey, trying to see if he can get over to second or maybe further. Skinner, 2-2, swing and a miss, or no, foul ball, just made contact off the end of his bat, but that was very close.
Absolutely, just a great job staying alive there by Luke.
2 balls and 2 strikes coming up to Luke Skinner. Again, taking over for Jack Holubowski in a pinch hitter role. We would presume he would take over at third base if this game did go to extra innings. Could very well happen depending on the result of this bottom of the 7th. 2-2 pitch to Clark. Skinner, this time he does swing and miss cleanly. A strikeout swinging again on the 8-hole hitter. It's the second straight time that's happened, and there's 1 away here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
And unfortunately for the Oilers, that's exactly what the Miners wanted. Brady Clark coming through with a huge strikeout. Now you've got 1 out. I'd still look to see Jones steal second base, trying to get in scoring position for not just Brady Brown here, but Mark Nellis due up on deck.
So here comes Brady Brown to the plate. Jones is still at first. Brown, ball hit over to the shortstop. Throw to second in time. Throw to first is not in time. It's going to be a fielder's choice. And Brady Brown will be safe at first. That'll bring us back to the top of the order. But it is very costly as there's now 2 away here in this bottom half of the 7th inning.
Yeah, just your classic attempted 6-4-3 double play. Thankfully, the speed of Brown able to beat out the throw, or that would have ended the game. And while that does put 2 outs on the board, Oilers certainly not without hope with the top of the lineup coming up. It's a big chance maybe Mark Nellis can come through.
Mark Nellis has struggled today. He has struck out a couple of times, but he hasn't yet faced Brady Clark. Clark, though, heating up as he delivers a breaking ball for a strike, and just like that, the count's at 0-1. Nellis struck out swinging in the 3rd and 5th innings and is also grounded out, which happened back in the 1st inning. Brown represents the tying run over at first, and how aggressive will he be in the base path? Nellis delivers a pop-up over towards shallow center, and Austin Park, the shortstop, will camp underneath it for out number 3. And that will do it for game number 1 of this doubleheader. The Mat-Su Miners pick up a 2-1 win over your Peninsula Oilers, and they will move now to 14-9 on the season as the Oilers drop their 2nd straight in a tough loss despite a hard-fought effort late in the contest. So that'll do it for game number 1 of this contest, and a tough result for the Oilers here, but still a lot of good things to be proud of, and still a lot of baseball yet to be played here today as the 2nd game is set to go in just about 40 minutes or so. We will be back for that 2nd game coming up in that 40-minute time span, and we'll try to get the broadcast sorted out